Hey everybody, this time we have a pattern replay from Squiddite. The M48 is probably one of the most underappreciated tier 10s. It doesn't really shine in any particular aspect, but it's a good all-round solid tank. Not popular in clan wars, at least not anymore. It used to be used for its view range, but now that role's basically been taken over by Soviet mediums fitted with optics and good crew skills. The pattern's just too big and too weakly armoured to really be a reliable clan wars vehicle. With that said, a lot of its problems that really stop it from being effective in clan wars, or at least stop it from being, the sort of meta item in clan wars that everyone wants, they do make it a very strong contender in pubs, especially in the hands of somebody who knows how to use a large and relatively unarmoured tank with a very good gun. It does have very good gun handling, not quite T62 tier, but pretty close. It used to be about the same as the T62, and it was overpowered as hell. It got the absolute shit nerfed out of it. But even after the nerf, it's still strong on the move. The good general gun handling lets you pull off a lot of stuff that other tanks wouldn't let you do. It's just a good all-rounder, a good generalist, much like the Pershing. Kind of like the M46. The M46 has accuracy issues even now after its bloom was worked on a bit. It's still not perfect, but the M48 is closer, I would say, to the Pershing than the M46, which isn't to slag off the M46 pattern, which is still a good tank. I just think that perhaps it doesn't shine quite as brightly compared to its peers. So Squiddite has been saddled with the hell of Southspawn, and being in a pattern he is both too slow and too large to really safely push across the south. In light of that, he decided to stop up here and shoot from the eastern side, where he at least has a little bit of cover and doesn't have to drive out in front of the entire enemy team to get into position. However, this means that the AMX 1390, Christ knows why he is there, and the IS-4 are pretty much left with their balls hanging out in the wind against the T-57 and 50B and anything else that cares to come that way. The IS-4 is a strong tank, but as I well know, an IS-4 by itself cannot win a game. In fact, more often than not, you won't. 50B and Batchat seem occupied with Squiddite, but the IS-4 is just melting too quickly. Squiddite's no idiot. He can see the writing on the wall, he knows what's about to happen, and although there's a huge risk of getting clipped out here if the T-57 tracks him, he manages to make it across without being shot, and goes to mount a last desperate defense in the base. And it is only just now that I have realized Squiddite's team has a Hetzer and a Somyo S-35. Oh, sorry, a D2. I'm bad at reading silhouettes. Either way, the effect is the same. Squiddite's team has been saddled with a pair of fucking tier 3s. Who dragged them in? Let's have a look. Platoon 1. Oh, the 48% E100 dragged in the tier 3s. Excellent. Or the tier 3 and the tier 4, sorry. I haven't had enough caffeine today, I'm not quite with it. Squiddite makes a beautiful tracking shot on that Batchat. I'm not sure if the intention was to track it, but it certainly had that outcome, which allowed him to get some shots into it. The other pattern, the M46, is in a hopeless position there, but Squiddite's much better set to deal with this. Bat goes down, Squiddite goes to the 1390 next, taking the guns out one at a time, but even though he got the wonderful tracking shot on the Batchat, the same kind of shot fails to even damage the AMX 1390. While the Roomba's occupied, he gets some shots in, but the pattern is now looking his way. E75 also is now taking shots at Squiddite. Manages to burn the Waffenträger Panzer IV down. I suppose I should say Panzer IV, but I'm too lazy. Heat shell from the M48. Not sure why. You really don't need heat to deal with a pattern frontally, especially not in another pattern. Actually, he was playing with fire, firing heat uphill at a target like that. He had a better chance of bouncing than normally. Big hit comes in from the GW Tiger. That's the occupational hazard of being up on this hill. You are a huge arty target and they will shoot relentlessly at you. Squiddite is able to get a couple more shots off here, but it's obvious what's about to happen. The 1390 is now clipping towards him every time he backs around to try and get away from the E75's gun. And sure enough, the E75 takes him out. It was pretty much a doomed effort anyway, because look what's coming through the north. And the T-57 also turns up moments after Squiddite's death. Just over 4k damage, 3 kills. It's a shame nobody else on his team put in a single bit of effort, or this may well have been a win. The enemy just pushed through everywhere on the map. Squiddite's team folded around him. You know, often when you see something like this happen, one side of the map or the other will fold. Not in this case. The whole map just went. It was as if Squiddite was the only person on his team. And I mean, in those situations, there's nothing you can do but prolong the inevitable and try and get what you can, basically. A bit of the old "fuck you, got mine." Anyway, games like this are always a shitty thing to have to deal with, but at least for us, we realise that there's, you know, not much more we could have done, and if there was something more we could have done, we generally pick up on what it was pretty quickly and are able to do it next time. But spare a thought for the poor 47%ers who haven't even realised yet that they are the reason they lose matches, not their teammates. It must be terrible to lose that many games. On that note, I'm going to wrap this one up here. I've got a pair of replays from Broseph from memory. I think both in the E50 of one flavour or other. And then I think there was one more after that. I may not record all 3, but we'll see how we go. Probably both E50 games. Don't know about the other one. Until then, wish you the best of luck in the field, and I'll see you next time.